everyone, Cat and Lil Man here, and we have a nice spooky season TBR. But first, let's start with the leftovers, because I might finish this by the end of the month. I do have today and 3 more days, but I still got all of that to read because I just started it last night. It's Clive Cussler and his son Dirk Cussler in Treasure of Khan. And I like the whole Genghis Khan thing. I find him interesting, so I had to pick this up. And I'm really not sure how it's going to go because we had so far of we've been like, yeah, trolling this huge freaking lake in Siberia for oil, and we've had murders and kidnappings and betrayals, but we have also had, Kublai Khan and, his buddies trying to take out the Japanese and that not going well, to, betrayal and, you know, trying to have an archaeological dig, yeah, in the late 1930s with, Japan trying to take over stuff in China. So, yeah. So I'm not exactly sure how all this is going to go. I don't know what it has to do with, yeah, treasure and the con. But, we've had mention of them in the 1200s and the early 1900s, and then now we're in like, is it 2007 or 2000? Or it was like 2007 and then again in like 2010, I think. I'm getting myself confused because there's like little sections, and I finished 3 sections, and then I think there's only one more in the next 400 odd pages because it's over 600 pages. So I'm not sure how it's all going to tie together yet, but so far this has been really good. Like even the beginning, which honestly the last couple books I've tried to read from him, I have had to slog through the like prologue and almost put the book down. This one was actually interesting from the get go. And then we have another leftover from last month, or well, what will be last month, that I haven't even started, but it is so appropriate. Kingdom of the Cursed. I was going to read this one, but then I read Throne of the Fallen, which is in the same universe by the same author. I should have read this one instead. I'm going to be doing an actual review on Throne of the Fallen. And yeah, it's in the same universe, but this is like YA. That book is full on adult, because yeah, but it looks appropriate for spooky season. Kind of like the shirt. We got Scarecrow going. So we're gonna try to knock those two out. And then we have Blood Groove by Alex Bloodstone. I have had this for like since before COVID because I'm pretty sure I got this. Yep, I can see a little bit of sticker residue. I got this from a bookstore that did not survive COVID. It was freaking awesome. It was basically like think like Marshalls or Ross or whatever, but for books. They were all brand new, but yeah, they were severely discounted. Like I think this was either like 2 for $5 or like a 4 for $10. Like you had to have a little sticker like, "Hey, buy from here." They're brand new books. This should have been a $7 book. I paid $2.50 max for it, but COVID happened and it went bye bye. So I need to freaking try this one. It has vampires, which are my favorite monster, and I need some good vampires because the last couple I have read with vampires in them, it ain't gone well. We had Discovery of Witches. We had the last book in the Night Tracker series. That was not nearly as bad, but it wasn't as great as the other ones. I tried to read a vampire short story collection. That book will be getting given away. So I need some good vampires again. I am hoping this is it. This, this, when a centuries-old vampire, Baron Rodolfo Zaginski, was staked in Wales in 1915, the last thing he expected was to reawaken in Memphis, Tennessee, 60 years later. Reborn into a new world of simmering racial tensions, the cunning Nosferatu realizes he must adapt quickly if he is to survive. So actually, this looks like a new book, but it's taking place in the 1970s? How old? Oh, it's from 2009. Hmm. So that should be weird and interesting. And then this is a book I heard about over on Olly's channel. Anno Dracula by Kim Newman. And hopefully this is way better than the short story in that collection that I read. Because I freaking hated that one. But it looks at least really cool. So, and the year is 1888, and Queen Victoria has a new consort, Prince Vlad Tepes, known throughout Europe as Count Dracula. The age of the vampire has arrived, an era of pomp and decadence, oppression, and unrelenting bloodshed, as, one by one, the British elite freely abandon their youth. What is all London is hideously transformed. A ripper stalks the night streets of Whitechapel, preying on vampire girls who sell their bodies for blood and silver. Okay, so this does actually sound awesome. It's like Jack the Ripper meets Count Dracula. He clearly disagrees. I don't know how well y'all can hear him, but he is snoring up a storm. So, I am excited to get around to trying this because Ollie reads some really interesting stuff, and y'all need to check him out if you haven't already. I will link him down below. And then we've got a super, super short, looks like a possibly a paperback from hell. Probably at least the 80s. Let's see. Do, do, do. Oh no, 2000. But it's felt appropriate. It's Mummy by Carolyn B. Cooney. I know literally nothing about this. This was like a random 50-cent find at a, library book sale. This seemed the appropriate time to go for it. So, and then we have the book that I have been saving all year for Occult Detective October. And I am mad at this cover because as seen on Sci-Fi, but it is Stormfront, the first book in the Jim Butcher's Dresden Files series. I've read one other book and a short story, and I really liked it. So when I found this one, I picked it up, and I've been waiting all year to read it. So hopefully it's a good one. And so we have lots of spooky. And in case I do finish my Clive Cussler one, Greg Loomis, The Sinai Secret. I have never read this guy before, but it looks up my alley with a nice, action-packed, archaeological thriller, which is one of my main jams, if y'all know. So I'm excited to get to this if I get through all of that. And then, of course, there's all the Kindle books of who knows what on earth. Though I did find a Gravity Falls book on Kindle Unlimited. I'm blaming the awesome MJ for that one because she made a post about there is a sold out, more grown up book in the Gravity Falls universe about Bill Cipher. And I was looking to see if maybe my library had an e-copy or what the heck. They're like, oh yeah, there's other books that are also written by the creators of the show, and one of them is on Kindle Unlimited. So, yeah, I downloaded that, and I'm going to be a child because I've watched that series like 4 times through now. It's cheesy, it's fun, it's childish. I love it. So we've got at least that going and a mermaid retelling. And I don't know what else I'm gonna read, but these are my pile of possibilities. Got some monsters and some spooky and a little bit of demonic romance and lots of action and probably plenty of murder. So yeah, I know there's plenty of murder because we've already killed at least, two people in the Clive Cussard novel that I am trying to finish. So, what are you reading for spooky season? Are you participating in Occult Detective October? Drop a line, let me know, and if he wakes up, we will see you soon. Bye. Have some spooky reading.